Hi, it's Leanne here to talk to you today about what happened in May in Kalamunda in the property market. Hills are stabilising at this time. After months of uncertainty in a low supply, high demand market, the environment seems to be changing. The borders are now open and have been for a little while, so we expect to see an increase in people coming to WA from interstate and overseas. Of course, we had the cash rate increase, which was not a surprise to anybody. I think everybody has been prepared for that. And we have gone into quite a chilly start to winter. So all of these things, along with other contributing factors, impact on the market. So what I'm hearing from sellers now that have been sitting in the pipeline for a little while is that they're preparing their properties for sale in spring, thinking that the garden will look great, the light will be coming into the house, and they can have that presentation looking its best in the spring sales period. That is a good idea, great approach. There's also a bit of a risk that sellers will move to the market in spring, and that increased stock level, which is great for buyers because they have more to choose from, can mean to sellers that it can impact on the price they can achieve. And also they really need to ensure that that presentation and condition is A1, because buyers, when there is more choice, become more particular about the details on a home. So that's just something to consider. You could actually also move a little bit earlier, beat the pack, and get onto the market while that supply is still at the lower end and you don't have as much competition. So you don't need to do as much to the property. We still want it presented as well as you can, but holding off may not be the best idea to get you the top price. So there's lots of buzz that's coming through the media. Every day we are bombarded with messages from experts predicting what will happen next. Let's face it, nobody really knows what's going to happen next. So the way that I see it is that they are all just opinions, and the perfect time to sell your property or to buy a property is when you want to upgrade, downgrade, downsize, upsize, or just are looking for a change. That personal decision of when you are ready to buy or sell. If you are buying and selling in the same market, it's relative anyways. So take that all into consideration. The good thing with selling or buying is that you can tidy up your lending portfolio and get a great rate and lock it in, because it seems from the feedback that we're getting is that that cash rate will probably increase over the next few months again. So if you can lock something in and get an upgrade to your house, well, that's a great outcome, and get it all done before the school year ends and we get to Christmas. So we saw the median sales price in Kalamunda is sitting at $570, so a little bit above the Perth average. But we need to remember that's a hard figure to go by, because in the hills we have so many different properties. It's definitely not a cookie cutter area. So you could have a mansion sitting right next to a first home buyer's house, and that's the beauty of the hills. That's part of its kind of shine for me, is that it's got this diverse range of housing and affordability options within it. Although in saying that, it's probably difficult for a first home buyer to get into our market in Kalamunda, because what may have been $480 to the $500,000 bracket and a great buy-in, that property over the last year is now probably closer to the mid-fives. So that's made it a bit difficult for first home buyers. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. The mid-range properties are still doing very well in terms of buyer activity. People want to live in the hills, they want to bring their family, so family homes are getting lots of attention. We'll see numbers between 10 and 20 groups on most weekends looking at a 4x2 in Kalamunda or Les Murdy, that's close enough to schools and other infrastructure that a family can enjoy and live in. The high end is interesting because that seems to have been consistently selling within a good time period. I mean, if you look at the time to sell period of about 14 days, that's probably about right. High end may take slightly longer than that, but it's definitely selling at prices that are higher than the seller's expectations sometimes, and possibly sellers can now get some of their money back for the renovations and the improvements they've done on a high-end property, whereas if you went back a couple of years, that was impossible. You'd be selling for under what you purchased and you wouldn't be getting any money back on all those great things that you've made the property look fantastic with. So the high end is flowing quite well. We can't really say what's going to happen over the next few months, so it's a matter of watching it. But I'm always here to chat to if you want to have a talk about your property or you want some presentation advice. Please call me or email me and make a time. Like, I'm around, I can pop in, I can give you some advice on how to style and present your property so that you can sell it for the maximum price. I love to help people with that. And there's no obligation or anything like that. You might not be selling for now, it might be down the track, and you might want to know, well, if I added this room on, is that going to add value to my house? And we can discuss those type of things. So I will be back with another update at the end of June, and let's see what happens then. And in the meantime, remember to take care out there. Thank you.